What's the good word, It's your boy DKB here. So, most of our favorite head coach from the last decade plus, Rex Ryan, he actually made a pretty stunning announcement in my opinion. Right, he was doing a season, not for the preseason, but kind of just a preview of the regular season and his thoughts about some of the things going on. He ended up covering the topic of the New York Jets. And what surprised me coming out of this interview, obviously, he had a lot of great things to say about the many players that we acquired, but he actually went so far as to mention that Robert Saleh, Jeff Ulbrich, they have crafted the best defense that the New York Jets team has had in history. And we know very intimately that Rex Ryan has been kind of the defensive mastermind of this New York Jets out of arguably any coach that we've employed in our 50 plus years as a franchise. And so, well, technically we're not at 50. I'm thinking when we were back to the Titans and stuff. But in general, you guys get the gist of it. In the history of the New York Jets franchise, Rex Ryan is arguably at the top of the totem pole in terms of being able to stack up a roster defensively. So hearing him admit that Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich have done this in 3 years, and in such an antithesis to the way that we've seen Rex Ryan build his as well, it's pretty interesting, especially considering the early relationship between Robert Saleh and Rex Ryan, where he was absolutely ripping Robert Saleh and, saying things like he didn't want to be compared to him in any facet because he doesn't consider him a defensive mastermind, and he's pretty much blowing his opportunity with the New York Jets, which, is fair to say, right? He has an 11-23 record over the course of these last 3 seasons. And so, on paper, Robert Saleh, he's unproven. He's not a coach that you look at and you say, without a doubt, he's one of the top tier guys in the league. That needs to be proven right here, right now, this season. And what I would argue definitely in week 1. But what can't be argued is definitely the job that he has done with this defense. Now, some of the things that Rex Ryan decided he wanted to highlight, he actually name dropped Jeff Ulbrich as being a great defensive coordinator. But we had the likes of him calling Garrett Wilson not unblockable. I want to say he used the word uncontainable. He cited obviously a lot of the defensive players, what they have over there, giving DJ Reed kudos, giving Sauce Gardner kudos, Quinnen up the middle. I think he generalized it though, and he said that they have about 7 or 8 guys that can legitimately rush the passer, whereas he was lucky if he even had 2. And so, just kind of comparing the defenses as well, it's not apples to apples. Rex Ryan wanted a 3-4 style defense because he was able to scheme up exotic blitzes and do different things to generate pressure and to generate sacks and allow what he had in guys like Darrelle Revis on the back end and Antonio Cromartie to really go out there and push things over the edge for him. So Rex Ryan, much of a different beast, a completely different philosophy. He doesn't want to necessarily have to blitz whatsoever. He wants to go out there and get after you with his front 4 and then allow him to play around with the back 7 of his defense and optimize coverage opportunities to allow his guys to hit home. And it just so happens that we have guys that have elite skill sets back there that we can kind of work and manipulate with. So it's kind of a full circle type revelation here for Rex Ryan, and I would say he's definitely progressed quite a lot maturity wise as well, because you'd be hard pressed to hear him 5 to 7 years ago mention that any other team had a better defense than what he was able to assemble and what he was able to do, and to now see that he's kind of passed the reins on to Robert Saleh is definitely great to see. Rex Ryan, I respected the coaching job. Loud, boisterous, over personality kind of type people. We, tend not to mesh too well, too much, but respect the job that he's done. Robert Saleh is definitely more of the, he has more of the personality that I would generally mesh with pretty well. But he doesn't have the wins to really stack up to a guy like Rex Ryan. So hopefully this is the season that turns around. But yeah, just kind of taking a moment to think back while things kick off, today with a lot of the games for us to kind of pay attention to ahead of what happens Monday for us. It's interesting. It's interesting to hear kind of Rex Ryan break things down. So if I can find the link for it again, I'm gonna drop it down for you guys in the description so you can check it out as well. It was really just a 10-minute kind of clip. Probably talked about the Jets to about 2 to 4 minutes of those. Also highlighted guys like Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, by the way. But yeah, interesting stuff. Let me know where you guys are at with it. Has Robert Saleh been able to craft the best New York Jets defense we've ever seen? Which is kind of in line with, what we're hearing guys like DJ Reed speak up about, and that we want to be one of those historically great teams out here. Rex Ryan seems fully bought into that idea. But again, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Best defense we've ever seen for a New York Jets coach team? Or are we still kind of in the shadow of somebody else? And I'll catch you guys again. Peace.